Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Present.
Trustee Patrick?
Present.
Trustee Sweet?
Present.
Trustee Maxey-Charkey?
Present.
Trustee Barron?
Present.
Mayor Yukich is absent. Acting as Mayor Pro Tem is Trustee Sweet. Trustee Rogers.
What did I not do?
George, the mayor had a commitment that he couldn't get out of tonight, so you're getting.
So we have Madam Mayor.
Are there any amendments to the agenda? Is there a motion to approve the minutes of December 13th, 2017, village board meeting? I so move. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussions? Reports and communications?
We have voice vote.
No? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Reports and communications. The Gulf Station Petroleum Management Team have obtained a special use permit for the village for redevelopment of the automobile service station located at 12108 West 159th Street last fall. This includes the Gulf gas station with a mini mart. Staff received an updated plat survey and they are currently working on a site plan to accommodate detention as well as a car wash facility. Although they can open the mini mart right away, they prefer to plan the whole site and apply for the building permits in the spring of 2018. National Citizen Survey. In the spring of 2017, the village partnered with National Research Center, Inc. to conduct a National Citizen Survey. This survey has been used by more than 300 communities in 45 states and is endorsed by the International City County Management Association. In April, the scientific survey was administered to 1,500 households throughout the community. The village received 501 responses, accounting for 34% overall response rate. The data was weighed using 2010 Census and American Community Survey estimates to make the survey sample more reflective of the larger population of the community. The NCS measured 8 aspects of community livability, including community engagement, education and enrichment, recreation and wellness, economy, built environment, natural environment, safety and mobility. An online non-scientific survey was also administered whereby the entire community could participate. The results of the online survey were kept separate from the scientific survey. Thank you for all of those that participated. Your input is a crucial aspect of the village strategic planning. Thank you for the 01, so we went over 500. We have 501. Strategic plan update. Upon completion of the National Citizen Survey, the village board began its first formal strategic planning process. Strategic planning is a process that helps leaders examine the current state of the organization, determine a desired future, establish priorities, and define a set of actions to achieve the desired outcomes. We will be hosting a community stakeholder meeting on January 17th here at Village Hall to solicit the input from various community organizations. The village is currently working through an environmental scan of an organization, summarizing trends, conditions, and challenges that affect the organization and our key governmental partners. Ultimately, through this process, the village board will develop a set of 4 to 6 strategic priorities and subsequent outcomes, indicators, and performance targets. More information regarding the resident survey will be posted on the village website as it becomes available. I'm just going to add there that the January 17th meeting is open to the public. On to the trustees. Trustee Caprio.
No report.
Trustee Sweet.
Thank you. The Environment Committee is working on a draft regarding tree trimming policy for those trees in the right-of-way. The draft will be sent to the Homer Highway Department for review and suggestions before it comes to the board in February. For 2018, we have selected the dates of May 11th and September 14th for our stargazing events. Also, the Environment Committee is looking into the possibility of a fall recycling event in the village. As a reminder, Lockport operates an electronics recycling center at its public works facility at 17112 Prime Boulevard. It's open on Tuesday and Friday from 6 to 11 a.m. only. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Trustee Varian?
Thank you, Madam. Just a brief report on behalf of the Community and Economic Development Committee. We had a really good committee meeting last night. In addition to a discussion with Jeannie on several new private investments that are being made in the village, we also had VJ walk us through a proposed cleanup of our regulations for uses in non-residential zoning districts. The committee was very supportive of this process and agreed that by streamlining some of our use regulations, it'll continue our efforts to make Homer Glen more attractive to business investment. Board members can expect to see several of these items bubble up in the coming days and weeks, so don't hesitate to reach out and discuss at that time. Two other quick notes. First, there will be a ribbon cutting on January 24th for our newest business, VIP Nails and Spa, located at 148th and Bell Road, but they are already open for business, so please consider paying them a visit. And finally, just wanted to share with residents some good news for the village. Sales tax receipts are up significantly from a year ago, which keeps the village on pace for our best year of sales tax revenue. So good news all around. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Dykstra? No report. Trustee Gray?
No reports now.
Treasurers?
No report.
Madam Clerk?
No report.
Village Attorney?
I have no report.
Public Safety Officials?
No report.
Village Manager?
No report.
Public comment? You guys are kind of lost with all this issue. So, can't read that first one, and it doesn't have an address or a phone.
That's the applicant for agenda item H1. I'm not sure if he actually wants to speak at this point.
All right, so we'll circle back. Lynn McGarry?
Hello, Glen McGarry for the Homer Glen Area Chamber of Commerce. You catch myself all the time. Next Thursday is our installation dinner. I know 8 of you are coming. Thank you so much. We look forward to you being there. And anybody change their mind, just give me a call. You can always come at the last minute. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Jesse?
Hi, I just wanted to address you all tonight. I'm kind of private. I have a personal issue. As you all know, and anybody who's been at these board meetings for the last 3 years since I've been covering it for the Homer Horizon, and I just wanted to address you and actually say that this is going to be my last meeting tonight. I'm going to miss working with all of you. I have another career opportunity, but I just wanted to say thank you, all of you, for putting up with me and my incessant questions every 2 weeks for the last few years, and also that, and just thank you for always making yourselves available to me. It's been a pleasure working with you all.
Well, thank you. Good luck in your future.
Thank you.
Wayne? Wayne, do you want to, we can circle back and you can speak when we get to that, or if you want to speak now?
No, whichever is convenient for
Yeah,
you.
why don't we do that, because we may have some asked and answered questions for you, and you may have more after we get to that, so. You're comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay. Pardon? Sorry, Tom. It's just so loud. Okay, moving on to legislation and action items. Is there a motion upon recommendation from the Planning Commission to deny the request for one, a variance to permit an accessory structure in the required front yard of the subject property where the accessory structures are not a permitted obstruction per section 220-807, permitted obstructions in yards of chapter 220 zoning of the codes of the Village of Homer Glen, and 2, a variance to reduce the required front yard setback for an accessory structure located within the required front yard of a residential property from 40 feet to 2 feet. Attachment 1, Table 1B, site and structure bulk requirements for residential districts of Chapter 220 zoning of the Code of the Village of Homer Glen for the property located at 14623 West 143rd Street, Homer Glen, Illinois. Morocco case number HG1726V.
So moved.
Can I step in for a second? You said motion to deny.
Yes.
The agenda says motion to approve.
It says consider approval or denial.
Not on my sheet.
It's on the second page.
There's a consider motion regarding.
Okay. I just want to make sure we are all on the same page.
We're on the
Because I was
same
reading the agenda.
My subdivision is approval or denial. Oh,
Okay, there is a motion on the floor from Trustee Varian. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Who's the second?
Well, I'm sure the petition is usually.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, is there a discussion amongst us, and then we can bring them up because we need some ask and answers there?
Sure. I walked out there and saw this property, and it is a very odd shaped lot, kind of a flag lot with Mr. Feldenhauer kind of situated right in the center of it. And at first, I couldn't really tell from the pictures that were in our packet what the sight lines really were until I walked out there and I could see that Mr. Feldenhauer basically can see this from his residence. So it really does impact him. Normally, my predilection would be to kind of look at these things and say, you know, it's a hardship on the homeowner to tear it down. But since Mr. Feldenhauer is most impacted by this, and he has come forward and asked us to make this right, that's kind of where I come down on this, is that, you know, for starters, if he was not consulted or if he's unhappy with it, he's the one who's really going to have to live with it the most. So.
Anything else? Does the petitioner want to speak? Okay. Any more discussion?
Well, I sat through the Plan Commission meeting, and I did hear the residents, all the residents speak. I feel it's more of a self-inflicted, you know, it's not a hardship, it was self-inflicted as far as I know. And then this is a hardship for his neighbors. So I support what the Plan Commission's findings.
Is there any more discussion?
Was there any neighbors at either of the Plan Commission meetings that spoke in favor of this?
No, it's not that I know.
No.
Okay. There were multiple that spoke in opposition?
Yes.
Okay. I would say first, I would say kudos to Plan Commission. I think after having read through all the minutes from 2 meetings, I think they did their due diligence on this. And I think they tabled it at the first meeting to get additional information, which was sought. Some of that was clarified. They came back at a second meeting in December and said, even with the additional information, I'll clarify some of the questions. This was a unanimous denial from the Plan Commission. And so I would start by saying, I think, good job, Plan Commission, on this one for not just rushing through it and wanting to be fair and going through the process, tabling it, bringing it back, and making a prudent decision. I echo what Trustee Sweet said. The variance is based on, or the requested variance is based on hardship, and the hardship, I think, is one of those things that was self-inflicted in this case. And it's not an easy decision because I understand the financial impact of the planning commission's position, my position, trustee Suisse's position on this. But at the same time, I look at it and say, had you come through the proper process from the outset, and had we had the number of residents that oppose it today, tell us as part of the regular process, and that's what I think the process is designed for, to engage those neighbors, to ask for their feedback on the front end, not after the fact, and had the same number of mayors come, or same number of residents, neighbors, come to us with the same concerns we're hearing today. I don't think I would have been supportive of the variance in the first place. And so that's the prism that I look at it through, is this is an issue where I would say secondarily, we're talking about what's the size of the structure that was added on in question here? 600? 600. Yeah, 600 square feet. Mm-hmm. So there's also, I think, where I look at it from kind of the layman's perspective of, hey, you know, at times there are things that you may not know, you need to reach out to the village on from a permit process. A 600 square foot structure, to me, defies that. That's a logical, that especially concerning some of the previous work done involving the village. So to me, I think I am in opposition or I'm in support of the motion to deny for those reasons.
Wayne, did you want to speak?
I just wanted to say in reference to not the board, but the building department doing their due diligence on it, I was impressed at the way they went into such detail. You know, at first I was kind of irritated over how much detail they were going into, but then as I read on and I saw how much they were going into it, I saw that there were more issues than what I initially thought. So I just want to thank the board, the building department for doing an excellent due diligence.
Thank you, Wayne. Is there any more discussion?
I probably echo the sentiments of the board as well. My dilemma here is that we've granted other variances, but going through the process is key. And when you don't go through the process, it causes a lot of frustration for the village. So I'm in support with the board as to what we're going to do and what we decide here. So.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Trustee Darian?
Aye.
Trustee Maxey Turkey?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers? Would you like to say?
Aye. Motion carries. Number 2, is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18002, an ordinance amending addendum A, anti-harassment of the village's personal policy statement?
I so move. Excuse me.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Maybe Heather, you could just give us a cliff notes so the public can kind of know what we're doing here.
Sure. The village has had a personnel policy in place for quite some time, and as part of our personnel policy, we have an anti-harassment portion of it. And so, in accordance with the Public Act that was recently passed, it requires that the government entities, such as ours, adopt a ordinance thoroughly explaining what sexual harassment is and providing options for people to go through the complaint procedure and also to protect whistleblowers. So in updating the policy, we just made sure that we were in compliance with the Act and basically included language that was sufficient for the whistleblower portion.
The new act requires you to have the policy by January 15th, so and it has to be adopted by resolution or ordinance, and that's why.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Maxey Turkey?
Aye.
Trustee Darian?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Moving on to item 3, approval for pay estimate number 2 from Aries Inc. for the 2017 Drainage Improvement Project number 1. Is there a motion to approve pay estimate number 2 from Aries Inc. for the 2017 Drain Improvement Project number 1 located in the Erin Hills subdivision in the amount of $52,708.95?
So move. Second?
Any discussion?
Maybe we could just ask Director Salomowitz to go over the projects that are covered by this and the progress on those.
Yeah, the project is basically completed. This work was in the Erin Hills subdivision, just west of Parker Road, just north of Meath. Basically, what the project involved was the removal and replacement of existing storm sewer that was installed years ago that was collapsing. It also involved the lining of an existing culvert, which was right next to the one house at that location. The work, like I said, has been completed. The restoration has been completed. There may be a couple minor touch-ups as far as the restoration in the spring, but otherwise the project is for the most part, it's completed.
So this will be the final bill?
There's probably going to be one more because we do have retention, and that'll stay in place till the spring. So there might be a little bit more invoicing, but otherwise the majority of the invoicing is completed.
Okay, thank you.
On average, how long is retention? How long is that 90 days on average or less?
Because the seeding was done late in the season, we're going to hold about 5% until the spring, until we get some of the grass coming up.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Nagyrski?
Aye.
Trustee Barry?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 4, approval for pay estimate number 3 from Hendrick Construction for the 2017 Drainage Improvement Project number 2. Is there a motion to approve pay estimate number 3 from Hendrick Construction for the 2017 Drainage Improvement Project number 2 at various locations in the amount of $217,449.77?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I would just ask for maybe the same thing, quick overview.
Sure.
For the record.
This project had several locations where work was being completed throughout the village. The project, in the summary on the supplement sheet, Project 2A, the Woodbine subdivision, the work in Woodbine, is primarily complete. There's restoration work that's going to take place in the spring, which includes curb and gutter, replacement of the driveways that were removed, and then paving, patching the road. There's also a conflict with a NICOR pipeline. So there was a section of pipe that was left in place, the old pipe left in place until NICOR lowers or raises their pipeline. So that work is, NICOR is in the process of designing that work, and hopefully sometime in the next couple months that work will take place, and then our contractor can go back in and finish the work. The work at Greenbrier 14930 Greenbrier Lane, that has been completed except for the restoration. That'll be done again in the spring. The work in the Meadowview subdivision on Woodland Drive, that was completed. Most of the restoration work there has been completed, so if anything needs to be touched up, that'll be done in the spring as well. The Chickasaw subdivision, that work has been completed, and again, there's some restoration work that'll be completed in the spring. Wedgewood Highlands subdivision, there's the majority of the work has been completed, but there's 2 sections that they were very wet. The contractor couldn't get into there, so we're waiting for the temperatures to freeze again so that the ground basically will support the equipment that they can go in there. There's a couple small runs of storm sewer pipe that'll be installed, and then the restoration will be completed again in the spring. And then the 151st Street Wilcook Road project, that has been completed, and the restoration was completed as well.
Thank you. This one's just from my knowledge, but why on like the previous one was there a 10% retainer or retention, and then on this one it's a 5%? Is it size of the contracts? What is that usually based on?
Yeah, basically, we had two different engineering firms keeping up, monitoring it. So the one was using a 5%, the other one was doing 10%. We're reducing the first project down to 5%. So, and there's, on that project, like I said, the majority of that work has already been completed, so it's just in case they need to go in and basically touch up the seating, so it's just a minor cost.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Mansky?
Aye.
Trustee Barron?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
And Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there any old business? Is there any new business?
Yes. I'd like to, in the minutes from the December 6th, 2017, the Admin and Finance meeting, Manager Mertens reported on the tree lighting ceremony, and it was discussed that a committee should be formed to take that on for next year, and I'd just like to see if we can put that on our next board meeting as a discussion item.
Sure, we can put that as a board item. Currently, right now, I have a placeholder as a Parks Committee. So in case a separate committee is not set up, the thought was we could use the Parks Committee as the default, but if the board wishes to set up a specific committee, kind of like Homer Harvest Fest, you can obviously do that, so either way.
Yeah, I'd like to just discuss whether or not to do either a full committee or give it to one of these standing committees, but I think after the last couple of committee at all meetings, we've all basically said that we have a lot of ideas for Heritage Park, and June will be here sooner than we think. So, what's going to be our initiative? Beyond just the tree lighting, it really comes down to, how we're going to kick that off in June, as well as can we get a few other things maybe planned for this year.
Sure.
So that's still, I want to discuss, not necessarily setting up a committee.
Looking for like a workshop at the next board meeting for the specific.
Yeah, I know you and I was trip over what we're going to call
That's
it,
okay.
so.
That's okay. We'll
As long as we talk about it.
We didn't forget about it, we just want to make sure we know which direction.
That's all I have.
Is there anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.